Hi photographers. In this video, I would like to share with you how I upload images into Lightroom from my SD card into my computer and also into Lightroom on the web. So with your SD card adapter that you received in class, or if you have an SD card slot in your device, you may use that as well. But I'm going to show you how you'll be able to access them through your SD card reader. So you'll connect the SD card reader to your computer. Actually, I'll close that out. And then if you don't see it pop up, you'll go into your Finder where you can see your desktop, your downloads, all those things. And you'll look for one of the drives. It may say Canon, it may say DCIM, it may say new file, but it will pop up and it will almost look like a drive. So mine, because I took these images with an EOS digital mirrorless camera, it changed the name of my SD card. So one thing you guys could do right away also is if you right click on this, you could rename that SD card to your name. That would be a great idea, just in case you happen. Oh, let's see. Oh, I have to have a name with fewer characters and no punctuation. Okay. Just in case you happen to leave your SD card in a computer or in the classroom, I can get that back to you. So I'm going to go ahead and rename. Maybe I'll just go RG and hit enter. No spaces. So there I have that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is there'll be multiple folders more than likely here. Almost every single one of you, your images will be found in a folder called DCIM, unless you're photographing with Nikon or Fuji or Sony, and then it may have another acronym that's there, NEF. There's a couple other ones, but you're going to look for a folder, and then within that folder, it will have the name of the camera that you photographed that with. So I know that I photographed it with, we used an EOS R for these images here. So I can scroll through here. These are all the photos that I've taken on this SD card. Now you'll see that there is a CR3 and a JPEG. This is the raw file. This is the JPEG. These images were photographed in camera, raw plus JPEG. So as I was taking the photos, the file format that was saved was raw and JPEG simultaneously. So the next thing I'm going to do, so I can see where I can access them. So I could do one of two things. One, I could open up the Lightroom app if I have that installed on my device. So let's say this is for a project. I can hit the plus button. I can create a new album and I can call it whatever the album is, or whatever the project is. And then I'm going to hit create. So now this album is empty. So I could add photos by navigating back to where that location was. And then here's where where those files were. And so I could select all of these. Just going to select this top row here. But you could select all of them if you wanted to as well. It really kind of just depends on what it is that you're wanting to import. And so now I can go review for import. When that happens, I can look and see, are there a couple photos maybe I don't want? I can untag those. And then Lightroom does not allow you to add previously added images, so it looks like I've already added these from another class. So then once I see that, I can go ahead and select those images. I'm going to select all. I'm just going to select these. Let's see. I'm just going to select these four just to save time. But you can upload thousands of photos into an album. And then I will see that they are being uploaded into this album here. Now, when you're doing this on the Adobe Creative Cloud website, I'll show you how to do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and open a browser. I'm going to go to Adobe. Now you don't need to upload them to both. I'm just showing you both ways because some of you guys will be using an installed version of Lightroom, and then others will be using the Adobe Creative Cloud. You're logging into that. So here's where you will log in. I'm already logged in to save time again, but you'll log in with your Iowa Central email and password. Then you'll find Lightroom by clicking on this waffle here, and you'll see Lightroom. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And once I do that, if this is how you're going to add the photos for your albums, let me just show you this. Look at this, is so cool because remember, I just uploaded these on my downloaded version of Lightroom, but the web version, your mobile version, and the downloaded app, they all sync with one another. So you can access your files through your mobile device. You can access them from the adobe.com website, and then you'll also be able to access them all if you have it downloaded. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, you're going to do this basically the same way. So you're going to go to Create Album. I'll just call this one Test so you can see the difference between the two. Create. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to browse. I'll select them from the drive. Again, here I'm clicking DCIM, and then I'm clicking on the EOS R. That's the camera that we use. I'm going to scroll down. Let's see. Try to just pick a few different images. I think this was one of my students' SD card that I picked up. So I'll just select a few. Upload. So you'll see that these are uploading. Your upload is complete. Hit finish. So here's the two photos that we uploaded here. These are the ones that, let's see, let me get out of that. These are the ones that we just uploaded here. And so if I refresh this page, I'll see all of my albums. Then I'll be able to go in and edit these images. But let's go ahead and close this out, because now the images are in this test, and I can go in here and click on them and use all of the editing options here. But I'm going to go ahead and log out or close that out. I'm going to go back. Go back into, this is my downloaded desktop version of Lightroom, and look, it's already synced. It's already synced what I just added on adobe.com. So the syncing can be really fast. It just depends on your Wi-Fi. So that is how you will upload your images from your SD card into Lightroom. And it's best practice to like stay super organized when you're adding an album, to name it exactly what that is. If you wanted to, you could also create a folder. A folder houses albums. So let's say, for example, I wanted to just take all of these tests that I just did for the lab and for to show you guys how you can upload your images. Maybe I'll call this test folder for videos. I could create that folder, and then I could just drag these into that. To stay organized. So now when I close that, if I click on it, here's where all of those test albums are. They're all housed within that folder. So I've done that also with many, many projects that I've worked on with students. So it just allows you to stay super organized. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys. And then everything just auto saves. As you're navigating Lightroom, play around with looking at these images on your phone, because you can access those that way as well.